We're talking with Brian Matuszak. You might remember him from Rubber Chicken Theater is the latest thing, but a long history. And the reason we have him on the radio today is he's retiring. Now, are you going to do the Frank Sinatra, Garth Brooks retirement, where maybe in a couple of years you can, or is this something that no, I'm going to sit in the back and I'm going to enjoy this?
Yeah, I'm going to get off of stage. I'll still be producing. Rubber Chicken's still around, so next year's Christmas show will have other folks that certainly are capable of directing it, performing it, and doing a great job. I might write a sketch or two because I enjoy writing. But I'll get them what they need. If they need shaving cream for pies, I'll get that. But I'll just be in the background and enjoying the show, sitting in the audience and laughing and watching it and having fun instead of all the rehearsing and performing and all that. It's just 32 years. That's a long time.
That is a long time. Holy cow. One thing I've always wanted to ask you, and I guess I've never been in a setting to ask you until now. Have you ever thought of going bigger? Did you? I mean, obviously, you hear about Second City, and there's all the different feeders to SNL. And I'm not saying you had dreams of SNL, but did you ever dream of maybe moving on to something else?
I think early on, when you're young and ambitious. Right. But what eventually happened, and my wife and I went through this. In fact, when I was going back and looking at all the Christmas or holiday sketch comedy reviews, Christmas shows that I've done over the years, there was just one year that I absolutely didn't do one. So it hasn't been continuous. And that was because my wife and I went through what a lot of folks, artists, I think, go through is we're here and we're like, well, we got to move on. We got to get out of here. So we moved to the cities for a year in 1988. So I didn't do the Christmas show that year. And what we discovered for us was that, we kept running back up to Duluth every weekend to see friends and family, and we're having so much fun. So we said, well, why do we need to be down here? Let's just go there because this is a good place. So early on, there might have been a touch of it, like let's bring Rubber Chicken to the cities and stuff. But eventually, I mean, you want to live here, you want to stay here. This is a decision that I made, raise a family here, and so I've been perfectly content. Doing it here and having fun doing it here. And I mean, maybe initially early on, but we decided this is a beautiful area. We want to stay here, and we're practicing our art here, our craft here, and that's what we've done.
Well, I'm glad you stayed. So now you talked about the character before that Marty used to do. Is that your favorite bit? Or do you have another favorite bit?
I have another favorite bit. And I was just thinking about this, too, because we actually do this as a part of when we entertain groups as well. And we came up early on with Renegade with this bit, and it's been a lot of fun. I can't remember, how the germ of the idea started, but basically what it is, it's Green Eggs and Hamlet. And we wanted to make Shakespeare accessible to kids, so we wrote Green Eggs and Hamlet. And so I'm going to actually be reprising that a little bit in the Christmas show this year. But it's just I just love to do that one because you get to be big and broad like a Shakespeare character while you're reciting silly lines like I do not like green eggs, I'm Hamlet. I do not like them, Sam, I Hamlet. And things like that. And that's probably my favorite one because that one always gets a really good laugh because it's big and loud and silly, and so stuff like that.
My son is going to listen to this. His name is Sam, and he's going to go, "Oh, I know that,
Sam, I Hamlet."
So now, what do you see yourself doing in the next 10 years?
Well, I'm actually we're going to be empty nesters. My wife and I. Our daughter is graduating from high school this year. So
very talented girl, by the way.
Yes, she is. Thank you. She just finished a run at Hermantown. They did Once Upon a Mattress, and she was the lead. She played the Carol Burnett character.
Okay.
And so she got to do all these things I've been doing over the years, the pratfalls, the spit takes, and just it was actually, I'm glad you brought that up. It was amazing to sit and watch that and go, wow, she's so polished already. Where did that come from? That's what my wife Sue said. Yeah, I know where that came from.
Yeah. You don't realize how you rub off,
But she was amazing. But yeah, so she's going to college, so we're going to be empty nesters, so it'll be nice to spend some time together and get used to that again. It's been 17 years.
Have you been living here the whole time?
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that. So, but I'm still going to do artistic things. I hope to write a lot more. Obviously, I've written over the years sketches and stuff, but I'm hoping to expand and write longer pieces. But I'm also really, really interested, and I'm late to the game, obviously, but in podcasting and writing and producing pod series and things like that. So I hope to dabble in that a little bit and look into that because things like Welcome to Night Vale is amazing. Things like that, I just love that stuff.
And that's kind of how this was born. Everybody that is listening to this is listening online because obviously we can't put this long interview on the radio. But this is kind of how that was born. Is they started saying, "Do you ever podcast?" And I'm thinking, I talk in between songs. I don't know what kind of podcast I could do. But then I thought, there's some really interesting musicians and artists in this area. Let's get them in, and then people can meet them that way.
Plus, I love the medium of radio. So just the nature of what a podcast is.
Yeah, there's some magic about that.
Absolutely.
Being able to listen to that.
A lot more creativity in radio.
And you can do so much more with podcasts now. I mean, it's not just one thing. Everybody does something different with their podcast. So, yeah.
I'm looking forward to entering that world.
There you go. And then now we can do the shameless plug now for all the shows.
Yay.
You have all the shows coming up. Dare we say the Kobe Bryant tour for you?
That's right. If you ever want to see me on stage, this is the last time. The show is called. We always have fun with the title of the reviews too. We try to make puns of them or something based on a Christmas title and what's going on. So this one's called "Banning Around the Christmas Tree" or "The Last Noel of Don Ness." Because it's also our last opportunity to have fun with Don since he's not going to be mayor anymore. So he's been very generous with us with this show and past productions. But with this show, he's done a couple video bits for us, and so we're excited.
He has a great sense of humor,
Sure
I've noticed, and he's not afraid to make himself look foolish.
Nope. So you got to love people
without
like
compromising himself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why I think he's part of his popularity, and people are going to be very sad to see him go when he leaves office here in a couple of weeks. But so that we open up on Friday, December 4th. We run 4, 5, 11, 12. I'm trying to do my math. 18, 19. So those first 3 Fridays and Saturdays.
Okay.
And we take Christmas off. I know I should do a show Christmas.
Yeah, geez, you've been talking
the other
about all
actors
these
won't
Christmas
do it. I know.
things.
But we do a show on Saturday the 26th, and then we close it up on New Year's Eve, which I think is a Thursday this year.
And when you're watching this online or listening to it on the radio, all the links are going to be within the story.
Great.
Up there.
Just click up there.
Yeah. And all the links will be there, including the details for all the shows.
Great. Fantastic. Yeah. And it's coming together great. And they always do. It's always the hardest. This is another thing that's unique to putting together a sketch comedy show is you have to figure out an order of sketches to make a build. You know what I mean? It has to build a nice momentum. Like well-crafted plays have that. They're written in, they build up to intermission, and then they build up to a conclusion. And you have to create that with sketches, so it's like building blocks. So all this week is that. You go, now that we're running the show, you go, boy, that sketch really would work better in Act 2 or whatever. So we're in the middle of piecing and moving things around and cutting things. You're still cutting things, and that's the hardest part. There's so much funny stuff, but the show is just way too long.
Yeah.
So last night, we open here in a couple of days, but even last night I said, we got to cut this sketch and this sketch, and it's hard. You got to pick ones, and you have to assure because actors are very insecure. And it's not you, it's not your performance. They're all great, but this one would just be strong. Like sometimes you could even pull them out and say next year, which is the case. This year we have a sketch in the show that was in the show last year, and then at the last minute we just pulled it for time, but we're doing it this year. So that's you.
And
tell
then this year you're pulling one. That's
we're pulling 2, and now maybe they'll be in there next year.
There we go.
But so we're putting all that together but it's just fun to sit back and watch it all come together when it's starting to click in, learn your lines, and it's going to be just a great time for all.
Brian Matuszak on the radio this morning, and I want to say thank you because not only do I consider you a peer because we're all performers in our own way, but I've been an admirer for a long time, so I want to thank you for coming in and talking about your career.
Thank you very much.
Do you want to give a shameless plug for your website before we're done here?
rubberchickentheater.com. We also are on Facebook and Twitter, so find us there.
Thanks again.
Thank you.